This is the story of Jill Packham. Dynamite comes in small packages, and this dynamite exploded, and even below the grave, her fury couldn't be extinguished. The silenced witness became unsilenced. February 22, 2018, Jill Packham, a beautiful green and brown-eyed petite blonde woman, left her home in Constantia, a wealthy suburb of Cape Town in the Western Cape, South Africa, at 7 a.m. to go to work at Springfield High School, where she worked as an administrator. Hopping into her dark green BMW 3 Series, there is no doubt Jill thought it would be a beautiful day for her to share her beautiful smile with those around her. Jill failed to arrive at work. Born March 21, 1962, Gillian Humphrey Packham was a 57-year-old petite blonde bombshell, a wife and mother to 2 daughters. Jill seemed to be in a happy marriage with her husband Rob Packham, a Cape Town businessman. On the outside, the carefully curated pictures showing smiles and laughter had a life filled with infidelity, deception, a double life a man was determined to keep hidden at all costs. When Jill, a creature of habit, failed to arrive at work, colleague Bernice Moore became concerned and sprung into action. She drove to the Packham home and later informed the school's management about the situation. This prompted a nationwide search for the missing mother. A few days later, a family's world would be shattered, and many friends and family would be left wondering what could they have done to prevent this unfortunate tragedy. Keenan Thomas from Deep River was at home playing video games with his friend Lance Govender when they heard dogs barking. When they went outside, they saw smoke in the distance and went to inspect. At first, Keenan thought the felt was burning and asked his mother to call the fire service. When he realized a car was on fire, approaching the car, Thomas saw a white SUV coming towards him and greeted the driver. But the man drove off, appearing aggressive and angry. Describing the man, Thomas said he had a round face, light in complexion, a mix between white and colored, he said, a description that will shatter bonds and bring the devil much closer to home. The man Thomas had described was Rob Packham, the husband to Jill Packham, and what he was burning was Jill's car and her inside. Dr. Itumeleng Molefe, a state pathologist, revealed in her chief post-mortem findings that Jill Packham died after being hit hard with a blunt object on the right-hand side of her head, which broke her jaw and fractured her skull in a number of places. The mother of 2 was found face down in the boot of her burnt-out BMW. Molefe's report was submitted as evidence in court at the end of wife killer accused Rob Packham's High Court trial after he made a number of admissions. Before being murdered, Jill was a woman on her way to work, but was cut down in her own garage. Dumped face down in the boot of her BMW, she was still wearing her wedding ring when she was set alight and was said to have recently eaten a meal of meat and mushrooms. Jill was also found with a plastic arm brace, revealing that she was nursing a fractured arm. How she sustained the injury will be revealed later in the trial.
Moving on now, Cape Town businessman Rob Packham has been sentenced to 22 years in prison for killing his wife. Last month, the Western Cape High Court found the 58-year-old guilty of murder and obstructing justice. Jill Packham's body was found in the boot of a burnt-out car at the Deep River train station in February last year. Packham was arrested after DNA testing confirmed his wife's identity. Judge Elise Steyn said her murder was callous, brutal and shocking. Steyn also said Packham showed no remorse and tried to cover up his crime. The couple had been married for 30 years.
Suspicious contusions to her left arm suggested that she may have tried to ward off her attacker before she was mortally struck on the head. Forensic experts guess she may have been hit with something heavy like a lampstand or plank. The murder weapon was not recovered. However, the state continued leading evidence that supported their charges that Jill's husband of 30 years murdered her in their Constantia home. He attempted to defeat the ends of justice by removing all traces of blood from the garage and their bathroom, and then burnt Jill's body at Deep River Railway Station to destroy the evidence. While Rob initially pled not guilty, he was filmed by license plate recognition cameras that showed him driving Jill's BMW, while cell phone towers showed that he drove around Constantia on the day of her disappearance, something he claimed he did because he was trying to find a car for Jill as a surprise birthday gift. Almost a year after Jill's body was found, justice was served on May 20th, 2019, when Western Cape High Court Judge Elise Steyn found Rob Packham guilty of the murder. Rob Packham was also found guilty of defeating the ends of justice. Judge Elise Steyn said Packham had direct intent to murder his wife and that he did not act in the manner of a husband who was distraught by the death of his wife. He deceived his wife and family, and he had finally removed his wife, Steyn said during judgment. Prosecutor Susan Galloway's cross-examination questioned why Rob Packham never reported his wife missing and never asked for any help to look for her, because he knew all along where she was and where her car was. Galloway also gave a possible motive for the murder, stating that Packham had found himself in a tight spot due to his long-running affair with his mistress.
The accused did not act in a manner expected of a distraught and later bereaved husband, and when he was challenged about his conduct, he responded in a manner incompatible with the situation. The accused has shown to be an accomplished liar and deceiver, who deceived his wife and to an extent his paramour, as well as his family. I mention these aspects as it is relevant to his credibility, aspects that show that the accused was a crafty, competent deceiver who was living what has been shown to have been a selfish, destructive double life. After the accused wove webs of deceit for years, he finally removed his wife, probably in anger when she was interfering with his work and multifaceted life. I think at this stage the accused can just stand up because I'm now dealing with an evaluation of his testimony. His version is clearly fabricated, cannot reasonably possibly or probably be true, and is rejected. The only reasonable inference from the totality of the evidence before court is that the accused was the person who killed his wife, placed her in the boot of her own vehicle and set the vehicle alight to dispose of incriminating evidence, whereafter he supplied false information to the police. The manner and cause of death and the nature of the injuries inflicted and sustained showed that the accused had the direct intention to kill the deceased. The order I make in the circumstances is that I find the accused guilty of murder, guilty of an attempt to defeat the administration of justice.
At the end of the trial, Jill's sisters Helen and Sue Humphrey took to social media to air their feelings on both the death of their beloved sister and how she died. The sisters revealed their shock and sadness at the subsequent revelations of the tragic and painful circumstances Jill was subjected to in the years and months leading up to her murder by Rob Packham. They revealed that while Jill remained silent of what was happening in her home, they learned the full extent of the murder through the trial. The sisters said while justice has been served for their sister, it doesn't take away the fact that the girls lost their mother and they too lost a sister. 58-year-old Rob Packham has since been incarcerated for 20 years imprisonment for the murder of his wife. The qualified chartered accountant was also sentenced to 4 years for defeating the ends of justice. 2 of the 4 years will run concurrently with the 20-year sentence for murder. The total sentence, 22 years in prison. Jill's sisters, Helen and Sue Humphrey, have started a Facebook group called Justice for Jill, a page that shares a beautiful life lived with a beautiful smile. Jill's daughters gave support to their father throughout the trial. One member on the Facebook group was quoted as saying, "For now may he," referring to Rob Packham, "have a miserable life of solitude, not only because he deserves it, but because Gillian's life was worth so much more than what he put her through and her loved ones forever. It is a bittersweet ending for a sad, real-life horror story." Thanks to the efforts of the men in blue and the South African justice system, the silenced witness became unsilenced.